I want to walk you through my trading checklist. This is a checklist, not this specific checklist, but a checklist is something that every trader needs to have and to use before your trading day gets started or before you enter a trade. So, what it is all the information that is in your trading plan condensed down to the bare minimum that you need for reminders to yourself before you enter a trade and just quick little checkpoints of where the price is at, how you're doing emotionally and mentally. All of that goes into your checklist. Yours is going to vary completely from mine because we're using different setups, different time frames, and you may be a more mechanical trader, whereas I definitely while my setups are mechanical, I have to check in on my nervous system before I start trading. And that's why you'll see the mention of that here. So the checklist is in my trading plan under my daily read. The daily read is exactly what I titled it as. It's what I need to read before the market opens. And it includes things that may be new. Maybe I refined something and I need a reminder. It will include things I'm struggling with that season. So if I am struggling with overtrading, then the mention of I can try the same idea twice and then that's it. That reminder will be there. So things that I have to remind myself before I get going. The first part of my checklist is my readiness. That's my mental and emotional readiness, as well as the readiness of the asset that I'm trading. So the first thing I ask if I decided on a direction, which might seem like a silly question, but especially in a range-bound market, there can be some ambiguity before the day starts as to which direction it's going to choose. And so if my answer is no, that doesn't mean I don't trade. It means that I give myself time. I let the market play out first before I take on a position. My nervous system being ready to trade this, I have a scale of 1 to 100. So if I'm anywhere 50 or below, then I'm not trading. That doesn't mean I'm not trading for the day. It means that I'm going to need to shift whatever's going on internally in order to be of sound mind and body before I enter a trade. One of the things that I do a lot is jumping into a trade once it's hit a pivot point. So if that's why this question is here. Has a run just ended? And if yes, then it's a reminder to myself to let it base. And sometimes a base can be 4 or 5 candles on the hourly time frame. Sometimes it can be months long on the daily time frame. So this is just from experience. The how long the base might be, we never know, but through experience, I kind of have an idea sometimes. So then I also note the stage, range, and location of the bigger chart timeframes, and I note what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is a very general question, but let me just take you really quickly over to, let's see here, my chart. Okay, so when I talk about those last few in the readiness are about having an understanding of context of what I'm seeing. So the weekly I will note down as a stage 3 topping action. It's been range bound and it's doing the sideways thing at the top of a long run. So then yesterday I noted that it was at the bottom of the range. So when I talk about range, if you're looking at the sideways action, you can easily box it up. Top, bottom. And where it was yesterday was towards the bottom of that range. So then I make a note that might be, unless we break down, we might have the probability of going back up through that range. So then the daily chart, same thing with the topping. Oh, there we go. Same thing with the topping, and I noted also it was at the bottom of the range. And then on the hourly chart, same. We're in a range bound, and then we were at the bottom of the range. So that gave me the more likely probability that was going up. But I did not discount that we could break down, and that could be, so stage 3 topping, the idea is that we're in this topping phase and then we'll break down further, but that's not always the case. But because I know that we're on the right side of this base, this long range we've been on, that it is still possible that instead of going back up and continuing that rotation, that we will finally resolve in one direction, and it could be the downside as well. So those are the quick little things that I know. And with that general question, what am I seeing? What I note here is, and this was right here, if I zoom in, this was yesterday's candle here. This was Tuesday's candle, and we opened here. Before the market started, what I noted is that we were just hovering at these moving average lines. That we were just newly here above 80. The daily chart, I noted that we were below moving average lines. So, that's just something to note that helps me determine which side is going to be more probable. And because we had some mixed information, we're under moving averages on the daily, but we are at the bottom of the range on all the charts. What is that telling me? It's telling me to just wait and see. So those are the kind of things that I put on my checklist. Then once I decide the direction, I'll go into my quick look at what I need to see to trade the upside, or if I'm trading the downside. I do have this note here, and again, this is why all of these things are very independent to you, but my note here is if I'm going to trade for the upside, I need to scan for support that price can still be drawn to before rising. It happens so much that I might ignore or not see a moving average that price still needs to test before it moves up. But sometimes I will see it and still get in a trade, but just noting that if my trade is not going to go up from here, then I look to the next level where it might set up again. Once I confirm that, then I'm confirming, is weekly at a key level? Is the daily at a key level? Is there a pivot low identified on the daily? So that's not where I'm trading, but I wanted to have already seen a pivot somewhere that's being held. I want to see my hourly retesting an area and holding and forming a shelf. Again, that's my language. So that's what's important about when you're creating these trading plans and your checklists, and everything needs to be designed and tailored to you in the language that you understand. And then, do I have clear and tight invalidation on the 5-minute? My style of trading is that I'd rather take some paper cuts and get out and watch for the entry again, instead of going into a bigger drawdown and waiting for however long for it to come out of there. I like the paper cuts. That's my style. And then I want to make sure my targets are confirmed and my risk to reward makes sense. So if there's not a lot of reward to it, I'm not taking that trade. That's energy expenditure for no reason. But anyways, this is what my trading checklist looks like, and I just wanted to share it and a little bit of how I use it. And if you're interested in, I do have a community that you can come ask questions. I have got a workshop coming up as well. And by the time you're seeing this, the workshop may have passed, but I do coach around creating a trading plan that is exactly tailored to you, because when you're trading, you really need to know your stuff in and out in a way that suits you and fits you. So when it's game time, you are ready and equipped to handle any scenario. And that is what is going to keep you consistently profitable and successful, because trading is just no joke, and you have to have things spelled out for yourself. So, all right, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I am definitely looking forward to growing my readership and my viewers. So y'all have a good rest of your day. All right, bye.